Oh my god, these bills never stop. You know, when I was growing up, I always wanted to become an adult as quickly as possible, because I thought adults have a lot of fun, they can do whatever they want, they have all the freedom in life. And then I actually grew up, became independent, and you know, the one thing that is not fun? Paying bills. This is a never ending cycle, and with this inflation, monthly expenses has gone up, like skyrocketed. And today I'm going to tell you how much do I spend in a month individually living in downtown Toronto in this high inflation period. I try to keep my expenses to a minimum, and that is why I cook at home. And because I cook at home, one of my biggest expense is groceries, obviously. And I don't get the whole month's grocery, I just get weekly groceries, and it costs a lot. You'll see. We are out of groceries, all groceries. And I meal prep, so most of the times I have a list of the things that I need, and I only shop for the week because I cook for the week, and I just don't stock up on groceries. 4.49. It's very expensive. Things have become so expensive. But yeah, we'll get the cheapest one. We're keeping it back. We get it cheaper in Downtown. So we got about 14 items, and it cost us $89.87. I mean, it is becoming so expensive to live in Toronto. I can't tell you, like every week we go to groceries, we end up spending at least $50 at least. But this is for two people. This is for this week. And normally my grocery cost for the whole month, my individual cost, is anywhere between $200 to $50. It's my grocery cost. But when we do it together, it's around $400 to $500. So that's how much I spend on groceries every month. Oh, and to let you know, I do not get a lot of things. These are just like some very basic stuff, and I have to get my coffee, which is ending. I have to get like stuff that I want to cook for the next week. So this is not all of it. And another shared expense that we have is this car. So we share the cost of the insurance and parking. So in total we spend about $450 on this car, and split between two, it's about $225. I think I did the math right. But do you want to know my largest expense? It's this, my condo. It's a 1-bed plus 110 apartment in downtown Toronto, like right in downtown. Financial district is right there. And Union Station is very close by. Everything else is in the walking distance. There's a pool, a gym, a sauna in the building. So there are a lot of amenities here, and that is why the rent is a little high. And my share of the rent is $1,200 per month. I know, it can get a little cheaper if we move somewhere else and everything, and we have a car now, but I like it here. There's so many amenities and everything in this building, and I don't have to pay for gym, so I save on that. So ultimately it turned out for us to have this apartment and be so close to everything, so you would normally walk everywhere else and just use car for bigger distances. So it made sense for us to pay this amount of rent for this place in downtown rather than living somewhere else like inside. And I was actually checking, if you go further in towards like Markham and stuff, and if you're getting a condo like this, it almost is the same. And I had one condition, that I don't want to live in basements. I can't see myself living in the four-wall place. I mean, I know it's a good affordable option, and like kudos to everyone who's living there, because it's hard to live in a basement. So that was the reason why we were not even looking for basements, and we stuck here. We applied for this place and all the other places as well that we were applying for. were condos. And if you want to see my experience of how I rented the place, what happened, all the procedures and everything, I have a video. You can watch it here. And it's like a whole description of my experience, what I did, what I paid, and everything else. And then there's the monthly hydro bill, which is somewhere around $50 to $70. The max I have paid was $90, which was last month. That's very unusual. I have always paid between $50 to $70. And tell me if this is your hydro bill as well, because I don't know what to compare it with. So I don't know if it's low or high, or I have no idea. But that's the average that we pay normally. And this is also split between us. So my share would be around, let's say, about $35 to be safe. And then water is included. We don't have gas, so we just pay for the hydro. Oh, and talking about utilities, I actually bagged a great deal on my mobile plan. So I'm with Fido, and before this I was with Virgin. So during Black Friday, Fido had a great deal going on, and I was able to get a 20 GB data, 1000 international minutes, and unlimited calls and text plan for $35. We pay about $58 for Wi-Fi every month, and my share is $28. These were all shared expenses, but I have a lot of individual expenses too. Okay, let's see what all I pay for. I remember Lightroom, Photoshop, Canva, iCloud, Prime, Netflix, Uber Pass. I lost the count. There are many. But all these subscriptions cost me anywhere around $120. It's $119.3 to be precise, but let's run it up to $120 per month just on subscriptions. And these are things that I normally use on a daily basis for my editing, for Instagram, for YouTube. So these are stuff that I can't not pay for. It's like kind of an investment. And Netflix and Prime are like just things. And every month I actually have about $400 aside for individual expenses, for my personal expenses. That can be movies, going out, eating out, or like random stuff that I like to spend money on, including shopping. I must confess that I am not very good at sticking to this budget. A lot of times it goes over my like $400 or $500 limit. But having a limit actually helps me to just keep a check on myself that okay, I have spent over the budget, so if I'm spending, I'll think over twice before doing that purchase and think whether it's something that I need or not, whether it's something I am just spending because I want it or do I actually need it. So that helps me keep like the expenditure on check if I'm going over that $400 budget. And I keep about $100 for miscellaneous stuff because I end up ordering a lot of stuff from Amazon. This is like just my regular purchases which are not in the list. So my individual monthly expense is, it does go over and below at times, most times over, but this is like how much I spend in a month. However, it is also good to note that I stay with my partner and a lot of our costs are split between two. It really helps to cut down on budget and spend less, even though it's super expensive to live in Toronto these days. But I have a monthly budget where I have noted down all my monthly fixed and variable expenses, so it helps me to understand where my money is going out and what I can save on if I want to cut down on budget some days, and I just don't have like a surprise every month when I get my credit card bill. And there are a lot of things I don't really need to spend money on. So I walk to office, I don't really need to spend money on Presto card because everything is nearby, about 5-10 minutes from my place. And I also make my morning coffees at home and try to be chindi whenever I can because I don't want to spend a lot of money. I like to save my money and keep it for my travels that come up every now and then, and that's how we make sure that we have like a good lifestyle and yet save money for our future, for the rainy days and for the things that we actually want to spend money on. After all these expenses, we also make sure to contribute a certain amount of money to a savings account, which we try not to touch. And in this era of constantly rising cost of living, putting my spend versus save money in separate accounts has really helped me manage my finances. I had learned this the hard way, but it is very important to keep these things separate, and when you know you have a limited amount of money to spend on, you will spend that limited amount and not touch, forget about the other account. That's what I do. So if you live here, let me know how are your expenses. Is your monthly expense same as mine? And if you have any budgeting tips, do let me know because I'm always trying to find ways to save money because I want to spend it on traveling. And if you're someone who's going to move here very soon, I hope this gives you an idea of how much you're going to spend here. And if you like the video, do give me a thumbs up and hit on the subscribe button. And also you can buy me a coffee. And you can also check out a few links if you're planning to come here. If you want to book a few things, I have my referral links down in the description below, which can help you plan your trip to Toronto very well. And I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.